Greetings, Anderson team and family. Thank you for your time and your flexibility as always. This was not the plan, but we're gonna roll with it. I just wanted to take the opportunity to connect us with a norming message, just as we had last week, which seemed to really help normalize and set the expectation clearly. And so I want to address a few things and go ahead and do that in this fashion. And if at the end of this you have questions, comments, or concerns, as always, please reach out. But I am going to start with a warm welcome. Okay, so warm welcome, and the way that we are tracking the attendance and compliance, if you will, for reading or for watching the video and reading the things, is to drop in the GroupMe chat. And if you don't have access to the GroupMe chat, my recommendation is to text message a team and family member. Maybe they can put it in there in your stead. But the question is, or the scenario is, you are having guests, they're last minute guests, and you have about 45 minutes to prepare, maybe even less, but you have about 45 minutes to prepare for welcoming those guests. What is something that you clean, or what is something that you hide? Give you some think time. Again, please drop those answers in the GroupMe app chat for Anderson 2021. I will share, I am a very private person, and so when someone says, oh, we're gonna stop by, I'm not that person that's like, yay, fly with it. No, it takes me a minute to prepare myself mentally, and then to also make sure that my space is presentable. And that's not to say that it's not always presentable, but I constantly feel like my house is in a state of transition, and it's not where I want it yet, and so I'm always thinking of the next thing. And so what I have to do is that one thing, which would be to clean the floors and not let everything else overwhelm me, so it doesn't take me away from the time and the connection that I'm having with the guests that are arriving. So hopefully you've dropped yours in the chat. Again, if you're having guests and they're impromptu, you have about 45 minutes. What is one thing you would clean and one thing you would hide? I look forward to seeing your answers. A couple of housekeeping pieces, mask expectations. We've done so much better, but I want to reiterate that this is the expectation. I continue to wonder whether or not folks have seen my last message. There have been instances where I've noticed that it's still not quite fully covered, meaning the face mask is not covering the entire face. So again, I'm gonna model. Here's my mask. Thank you, Miss Ellis. And as you can see, all of my face that would be giving any air, droplets, or moisture is covered. This is the expectation. Okay, so we've done that. The next piece is that teachers, please be reminded that attendance needs to be entered by close of business today. We received a shout out for our growth. The district recognized that we went from 58% attendance rate to 72, so we got a district shout out, which was really exciting. I will say that we want to continue the effort of making sure that our students are logging onto the platforms and their attendance is increasing. So we want to really push that, and we're working still to make those points of contact. Wellness team is making those visitations calls. We are pushing and moving the needle in ways that we can. We also recognize that there's some students that need to drop from our rosters, and so we have data to support some real improvement once that adjustment is made. So I'm excited about that. Want to say, yay, we've done some movement and had some success, and we're recognized for all of the work around attendance. So shout out to the team on that behalf. A reminder about compliance. You can find the compliance courses in Frontline if you need help with that. See myself, Parks, a team and family member can help you navigate that as well. And then just a reminder that we are on the eve, if you will, of fall break. So October 14th through the 16th, we will have a fall break in which you will have the opportunity to rest, restore, and fill your bucket. So looking forward to that. Okay, on to the meat of the issue. I want to go ahead and respond to the concerns or the rumblings or the how would you put it? I want to just address what I entered into today at the building. I understand that we have different levels of we have different levels of processing information, and so I want to just norm on what our response is and what it looks like. Should there be a situation in which we need to respond to a COVID case. When there is a case or there is a concern and it's reported, we have a very clear set of procedure and steps that we follow as a school, as a leadership team. I'm responsible for with making sure that I am reporting the case to the Department of Health, that TPS is notified, that all of the individuals that could have possibly been in contact with said person have also been connected with, as well as students and families if that's necessary, and send the affected person and a potential exposed person's home and contact trace from there. And as I said, connect with those who would potentially have been exposed or had, this is what it looks like, that they had been in contact for more than 15 minutes or had been in contact for more than 15 minutes unmasked. So that's the area that we're looking for. You do not contract this. This is not being spread throughout the hallways when you're walking. Again, we all should have our masks on, and that's a testament to us making sure we're doing all of the things for everyone's safety and well-being, and ours as well. But I just want to reiterate that there are very clear steps that happen, and in cases where there's situations, the necessary people are connected with, and it's not going to be a widespread messaging. If you're wondering about case questions, I would encourage you to just put a reminder on your phone to look at the district data. They release that weekly about any reports. I understand that there are individuals that may be concerned about the rumblings, if you will, and in the absence of data, folks have a tendency to make up stories. And so in this instance, I want to put all of the stories to rest and let you know that the proper protocol in any situation is what I've outlined, and it's what we do, it's our response. Several of you all have reached out to me. I guess the game of telephone is a real thing because there are several people that have shared their concerns, given me feedback around what they felt like I should have done as a school leader. And again, I want you to understand that I am following the protocol that is outlined by the district, and that protocol that is outlined by the district in no way says mass spread or mass communication of said issue. That's not the way we do things, and that's also getting into those lines of confidentiality. So I want to state that very clear. There's not going to be a widespread messaging. There would be a point of contact made, and those points of contact, if necessary, would be made, and then that would be it. If you were not contacted, then you are not a person that needed to have necessarily that context, nor was it necessary for you to feel like you had been in any situation where your health or safety was concerned, because that's not the case. I have not connected with you. That's not the case. I understand that there was some messaging on some doors, and again, in the absence of data, people make up stories. I don't have the context for when the messaging or the posts on the doors happened, but they did happen, and I understand that that may have caused another round of anxiety and just thinking about what this meant. But again, to quell all of that, I'm being very clear that we have a clear response, and that response is and was and will continue to be followed. All of the rooms have been shut down for more than 24 hours and are in the process of deep cleaning. Our entire school building is routinely cleaned for that common area spaces, so we don't have to worry about that. We have that process in place. And also, there's not been an outbreak or a mass spread of any type of illness, if you will, on site at Anderson. The situations that we have been made aware of or are encountering are outside of the building. And so we're taking, again, the necessary precautions to ensure the safety and well-being of all people that are Team and Family Anderson and beyond, because, that also means that your family is also important as well. So I just want to make sure that I'm clarifying that. In lieu of a mass meeting, because I know that there are questions that we have, I wanted to message directly. And if you have questions, again, please do not make it the practice of connecting with a team member and trying to think this aloud. I would encourage you to go to administration, school leadership to get your answers and not rely upon the game of telephone, because honestly, I'm shook. by how things have just like kind of snowballed. And that just is a reminder for me and for us as a team that, you know what, confidentiality lies not only with the owner of the information, but to continue to divulge information to other people is not the practice of being a leader. And I see all of us in this building as being leaders. So if someone has confided or shared some information with you, I'm going to encourage folks to keep that information and that you be a gatekeeper as opposed to someone that is unlocking a flood of misinformation. And so with that, I again want to name that there is a plan in place, and thank you all for your time. I will leave you with this. Third time, in the absence of data, we make up stories. If you have a gap in your data point that I need to clarify, please reach out to me directly. My heart is with our team, those of us that are trying to turn the corner this last full week before we have fall break, and so know that I'm thinking of you. And I recognize that there are some great, remarkable things happening school-wide, and I look forward to celebrating that with you as we move forward, and look forward for there being opportunities for us to come back together and have those moments for connection so that we can continue to build a strong Anderson team and family. My intention was to keep this under 10 minutes, but I see that I've gone over. I just will leave you with the words that I hold very dear, which is that I love you, and I mean it. Thank you for your time.